And are you refreshed? Good. We thought everything had been answered over and over and over and over. Stand if you think it's you. Yes. And then here. Yes. Are you finding yourselves relaxing into your well-being? You are ready to let the universe yield to you all that you deserve? It's easy to sort of get the hang of that now, isn't it? You've been practicing it rather well. Some are asleep. Some are ready. Yes?
Hi. My question today is, since you started with the beginning of this seminar, the one thing that I heard that resonated within me after, and I don't want to use the word follow Abraham, but I have been following the teachings of Abraham, is that I'm a great creator. I've created a phenomenal life for myself over the last 10 years of listening to you. And I get there by my goal list. And I'm intense. I'm not light at all. I used to be. I'm not. And I'm grateful to be looking back at what I was and now where I am. But now I want to be a great allower. And I just don't want to have to work at it. And that's what I do.
Well, we want to say to you that as you set goals, that the goals that you're setting are more about allowing than they are about making things happen, because it isn't through setting goals that you make things happen. It's through living life. It's through knowing what you don't want that you know what you do want. And it's through knowing what you do want that you know what you don't want. In other words, life just causes you to keep focusing what you really want. One of the things that we have been very diligent about expressing in a way that all of you will hear, we want you to leave this cruise really knowing this, is that your life experience has been causing you to ask for things, and you are very, very worthy of receiving those things. And so when you write a goal list, that's about you putting yourself in a place where you are finally giving yourself permission, because there's something about that focusing process that makes you then think about it more deliberately. In other words, when you're setting a goal, you would never say, I'm going to set my goals, and you sit and write a list of things that you don't want. In other words, you don't set a goal about things that you don't want. You set goals about things that you do want. So as you are setting those goals, it is really practicing the art of allowing. So now what you're saying is, I think I've been a little bit too intense about it. And we say, well, if you will relax a little more, you will begin to notice that, let's just give it to you this way. Because it's backwards about what most humans believe in terms of making things happen through action. So let's say you're here and your goal is over here, and you're approaching it totally in an action way. So it seems that the faster you run and the harder you try, the faster you will close that gap. And that may be true on an action journey. But when you are understanding that it is about vibration, and when you understand that the current is already flowing that way, and when you understand that going with the flow will speed it and going against the flow will slow it, so that instead of trying harder will make it go faster, as you relax more it makes it go faster. Isn't that a good way to look at that? In other words, it's the opposite about what most people think. Most people really think that diligence and hard work is what the answer is, and we're wanting you to understand that it's relaxing and allowing the universal forces to grant the wishes that you've already set into motion is what will speed the process for you. Speeding the process between where I am and where I want to be is about trusting that it is underway. Now feel the difference in the resistant factors. I want this and I'm over here. And feel when I say, but why isn't it happening? Feel the resistance in that. And feel the statement, I know it is happening. Feel the softening of resistance in it. Here's my goal and here's where I am. I'm so tired that it hasn't come yet. Feel the resistance in that. I'm so looking forward to it coming about. Feel the softening of the resistance in it. So we think you know exactly what to do. It's just a matter of understanding that any time you feel even the slightest particle of relief, you're slowing resistance and you're speeding the gap between where you are and where you want to be. If you've been listening to us for any time at all, and you have been for quite a while, you know that we don't want you to get feeling better because it will speed you toward what you want. We want you to feel better because feeling better is what you want. But most of you still can't hear that. You think you're willing to feel better if it will get you to what you want. And we want to say, no, what you really want is to feel better. And you say, no, Abraham, I'm sure that what I want is to fulfill my goals. And we say, no, really, what you want is to fulfill your goals so that you can feel better. You say, well, yeah, I want to fulfill my goals. And we say, no, you want to feel better. And you can feel better by feeling better, and then all your goals will be achieved.
I feel that for me that's the key, and I know that here. I want to feel it here.
Well, we think that an experience like this, where you're relaxing more, Jerry and Esther had to work hard at relaxing.
Me too.
Because they usually do not relax so much. And there was something about setting this segment aside. In other words, if they had been back on land, Esther would have done many more things than what she has done on this ship. And if her suitcases were bigger, she would have brought much more work than she was able to bring. In other words, there was something about this gathering that almost forced them into approaching life a little differently. And that's been our effort with all of you for a very long time. We are wanting you to approach your life vibrationally instead of so much with action. So we watch a lot of people who come to this science of deliberate creation, and they learn about the art of allowing, and then they take their same habits and their same life approaches, and then they just overlay it over these processes. And we say, we want to turn your life upside down. We want you to approach this vibrationally. We want you see, that upside down, here are the ways that we mean that. Most people do not feel worthy of receiving anything they want. Most people have been practicing all of the days of their life, from the time they were very young, doing something that causes them to be worthy of or earning. And so that's why you work hard. That's why you want to even give the appearance of working hard. You're wanting the universe to understand that you are justifying your existence through this hard work. So we want to turn that belief upside down and say to you, you are worthy whether you work hard or not. Your hard work is not what makes you worthy. Your expectation is what makes you worthy. And we mean worthy in the sense of in the state where you can now receive it, you see. So you might say, and we're going to tease you a little bit, you might say, all of my former impulses were wrong. My impulse to justify my existence works against me. My impulse to please others really works against me. So what are the new impulses that you've been honing and practicing since you've been doing this work? Well, you've been working on expecting things to go well for you. You've been working on acknowledging that life is supposed to be good. You've been working on acknowledging that you are worthy and that you cannot be more worthy, and that Source adores you and that Source could not adore you more. You are working on understanding that life has caused you to identify your desires and that Source is helping you to achieve them. You are working on the idea that you're not alone in this. In other words, you weren't sent here to prove through your virtue and your valor and your hard work that you are worthy of receiving the goods that Source has to offer. You have come forth already knowing that and just wanting the fun of the interaction in order to help you to focus. And you know, you never ever thought that you would stand around waiting for others to acknowledge how much that you did or didn't do. You always knew that you would know about your progress by the way it felt within you. You were excited about the idea of something stimulating a new idea. And you were excited about the idea that you would not immediately be up to speed with it. You were actually really excited about the process of getting up to speed with the new idea. You knew that that is really what life would be. Can you hear that? that is the thing that we've been working all these days to help you to hear. That so many things that you think that you want relative to those goals, and you think it is the reaching of the goal that life is about. And it is not. It is the existence of the goal that gives you the reason to move toward it, but it's the moving toward it. It's the not being there and getting closer. It's the feeling, the fabulous feeling of releasing resistance. It's the new ideas occurring to you and the realization that you have some vibrational aligning to do. It's the fun of vibrational aligning. We've been saying to our physical friends that life really will always be lived in this crack between the vibration of my current goal and where I stand in relationship to it. And we love that you have goals, because if you didn't have goals, if you didn't have things that you know you want, and if you didn't know that you were somewhere different from where they are, you would not have this finely honed avenue or sphere in which to work. In other words, this is the place that your life is. We like to tease you and say you will eternally be living life in this crack, the crack between the inception of the new idea and the realization, the full realization of it, you see. But there is something that you can do for yourself, and we are appreciating so much your words, because what you're saying to us is, I know that there are things that I want, and I am acutely aware of where I am in relationship to those things that I want, and I work really hard in trying to close that gap. And we want to say, then you're missing the point of your physical life experience. You're missing the point of the eternalness of your being, because you did not say, I'll go forth and set a goal and struggle my way toward its completion. You said, I'll go forth and the goal will give me life. And I'll go forth and I'll find a way of breathing that life through me. And I will never need to worry about eating up all of my goals. I will never need to worry about closing a door and that being the ending, because there will always be another door open that will breathe more life through me. I will always be the one who lives life through this process, you see. Mm-hmm. And so we know that you are hearing us, and as you said, you're getting it intellectually. And the way you practice it viscerally or emotionally is by acknowledging that this thought just feels better than this thought.